할렐루야. 오늘도 주님의 역사 보실래요? 오늘 또 기도를 드립니다. 내 모든 협력하시는 주님 들고 해주실 우리가 확실히 아니라 우리 영혼의 주님 편에서 기쁜 안정감 가시는 누릴 수 있도록 허락하신 하나님 감사합니다. 아멘. 하늘을 받은 자여 평안을 지어다 주께서 너와 함께 하시더라. 주의 백성 사랑이 아무것도 보이지 않지만 주의 백성 믿고 따라갑니다. 나의 빈손을 바라볼 때에 거진 등불 같은 어둠 같아도 주의 큰 손 나를 붙드시니 그것으로 나 안심합니다. 내가 믿고 의지하는 내 모든 형편 하시는 주님 보호해 주실 것을 나는 확신이 아네. 나의 빈손을 바라볼 때에 거진 등불 같은 어둠 같아도 주의 큰 손 나를 붙드시니 그것으로 나 안심합니다. 내가 믿고 또 의지하는 내 모든 형편 하시는 주님 늘 보호해 주실 것을 나는 확실히 아네. 의지하는 내 모든 형편 하시는 주님 늘 보호해 주실 것을 하시는 아네. 주님께서 내 생각을 붙들어 주시고 주님이 주신 사명과 소명을 잊지 않게 하소서. 우리의 모든 형편과 상황은 주님께 있음을 안심하고 믿음의 길 걷게 하소서. 우리의 모든 아픔과 형편하시는 주님께 감사합니다. 하나님 어둠의 지하 즐거운 어둠으로 탄식하며 수고하고 보여주어 지고 있는 사람들이 진정한 힘과 여유, 감사와 기쁨을 누릴 수 있게 하시고 즐거워하는 자들로 함께 즐거워하고 그런 자들에게 올라 말씀처럼 이웃과 함께 사시는 영원한 이 사이가 되게 하소서. 아멘. 성령으로 충만케 하시는 말씀으로 부각하게 하사 생명수가 달려 몸마다 좋은 것을 사랑하던 모든 북한의 모든 문화는 심령입니다. 예수 그리스도의 생수가 흘러넘치게 하소서. 의례적인 식수시설도 자유배로로 불효를 더하셔서 북한 주민들을 북한에 강건하게 하소서. 아멘. 목마른 자를 집중하지는 하나님은 북한은 물의 절반 가까이나 깨끗한 물을 마시지 못하는 사람을 위하리입니다. 북한 주민의 참된 생명수이신 예수 그리스도께 나오게 하시고 하늘의 만족케 하소서. 아멘. 생명의 근원에 계신 하나님 아버지, 하나님들과 가족들이 위해서 속히 치유받고 회복되기를 간절하게 원하는 기도를 들어 응답하옵소서. 건강한 육체에 건강한 정신으로 행복하게 살기를 바라고 원하는 모두에게 축복의 은혜가 충만하게 하소서. 아멘. 하나님과 가족들의 재별의 고통에 함께하는 건강을 미처 깨닫지 못했던 공경에서 정말 깨닫게 하시니 감사합니다. 원하지 않는 질병으로 인하여 기력이 수준하고 심해하는 하나님들이 더 이상 절망의 나라로 떨어지지 않도록 위로해 주시옵소서. 하나님의 바라시는 지혜의 강성이 하나들의 하지백제와 오정의 뽀로 변동하게 하소서. 어머니를 대하는 두 팔과 두 다리와 심장과 뇌와 혈관과 조직과 세포와 신장과 뼈와 근육과 혈관을 장애를 일으켜 모든 부위에 닿는 능력을 충만해 주시옵소서. 보이지 않는 적을 이기는 힘을 육체를 영광으로 인내를 통해 얻으십니다. 내가 여호와께 바라는 것 한 가지 그것을 구하리니 내가 나 평생 여호와의 하나님상 여호와의 하루를 구하면서 그의 성경을 사모하는 그것이다. 10편 27편 4절 말씀. 사랑하는 하나님 주님, 저희 가정이 주님을 위해 기뻐하여 내가 기쁜 교제를 드리게 하소서. 주님 믿음이 있어 저에게 보여주시는 감사합니다. 저에게 기회 되어주신 주님께 감사합니다. 내 가정이 주님께 나의 교제를 더욱 소원하며 나아갈 수 있도록 도와주소서. 내가 어떤 때문에 기쁨보다 주님을 만나는 기쁨을 얻게 해주세요. 또한 주님의 교제 힘쓰며 매일매일 되돌이고 주셔서 부모님에게 보고 잘하는 삶을 생길 수 있도록 인도해 주십시오. 또한 성경 공부하는 가정을 하나님께 해주셔서 하나님 감사합니다. 아멘. 오늘도 주님의 말씀을 주님께 예쁘게 만나서 주님의 대신에 거짓말을 사용해 공부할 수 있습니다. 그 하나님께서 하나님으로 기뻐하는 그래서 하나님께 계셔서 이렇게 이해할 수 있는 힘 주소서. 그것이 안 되는 그 모든 영혼의 영혼의 결실을 그리고 있으면 제가 예수님을 기도 들어가고 예수님을 제가 예수님 말씀 드리고 예수님을 말씀할 때 모든 마음의 분과 또 형체와 모든 것들이 이렇게 이길 수 있는 인문의 힘이 될 수 있고 그렇게마다 굉장히 될 수 있도록 도와주시고 또 주님을 한번만 위해서 기뻐하고 그리고 항상 주님을 행복하는 주님을 행복한 것으로 될 수도 도와주시고 모두 건강하게 산뜻하게 잘해서 저녁에 모여 속에서 주님의 영광을 인식했을 때 그 놀라운 기쁨들을 인도할 수 있도록 도와주시옵소서. 그래서 예수 그리스도의 이름으로 기도드립니다. 먹고 빨리 스타트. In whom we have redemption, the forgiveness of sins. The Son is the image of the invisible God, the firstborn over all creation. For in him all things were created, things in heaven and on earth, visible and invisible, whether thrones or powers or rulers or authorities, all things have been created through him and for him. He is before all things, and in him all things hold together. Godly sorrow brings repentance that leads to salvation and leaves no regret, but worldly sorrow brings death. In whom we have redemption for the forgiveness of sins. The Son is the image of the invisible God, the firstborn over all creation. For in him all creation were created, things in heaven and on earth, visible and invisible, whether throne or power or rules or authorities. All things have been created through him and for him. He is before all things, and in him all things hold together. Colossians chapter 1 verses 14 through 17. Godly sorrow brings ungodly sorrow brings repentance that leads to salvation and then leaves no regret, but worldly sorrow brings death. In whom we have redemption, the forgiveness of God, forgiveness of sin, since the Son is the image of the invisible God, the firstborn over all creations. For all creation, for in Him all things were created, things in heaven and on earth, visible and invisible, whether thrones or powers or rules or authorities. All things have been created through him and for him. He is before all things, and in him all things hold together. Colossians chapter 1 verses 14 through 17. Godly sorrow brings reputation that leads to salvation and leaves no regret, but worldly sorrow brings death. Second Corinthians chapter 7 verses 10. Amen. 세븐데이스.
Samuel 15. Samuel said to Saul, I am the one the Lord sent to anoint you king over his people Israel. So listen now to the message of the Lord. This is what the Lord Almighty says. I will punish the Amalekites for what they did to Israel when they waylaid them as they came up from Egypt. Now go, attack the Amalekites, and totally destroy all that belongs to them. Do not spare them. Put to death men and women, children and infants, cattle and sheep, camels and donkeys. So Saul summoned the men and mustered them at Telaim, 200,000 foot soldiers and 10,000 from Judah. Saul went to the city of Amalek and set an ambush in the ravine. Then he said to the Kenites, Go away, leave the Amalekites so that I do not destroy you along with them. For you showed kindness to all the Israelites when they came up out of Egypt. So the Kenites moved away from the Amalekites. Then Saul attacked the Amalekites all the way from Havilah to Shur, near the eastern border of Egypt. He took Agag, king of the Amalekites, alive, and all his people he totally destroyed with the sword. But Saul and the army spared Agag and the best of the sheep and cattle, the fat calves and lambs, everything that was good. These they were unwilling to destroy completely, but everything that was despised and weak they totally destroyed. Then the word of the Lord came to Samuel. I regret that I have made Saul king, because he has turned away from me and has not carried out my instructions. Samuel was angry, and he cried out to the Lord all that night. Early in the morning, Samuel got up and went to meet Saul, but he was told, Saul has gone to Carmel. There he has set up a monument in his own honor and has turned and gone on down to Gilgal. When Samuel reached him, Saul said, The Lord bless you. I have carried out the Lord's instructions. But Samuel said, What then is this bleating of sheep in my ears? What is this lowing of cattle that I hear? Saul answered, The soldiers brought them from the Amalekites. They spared the best of the sheep and cattle to sacrifice to the Lord your God, but we totally destroyed the rest. Enough, Samuel said to Saul. Let me tell you what the Lord said to me last night. Tell me, Saul replied. Samuel said, Although you were once small in your own eyes, did you not become the head of the tribes of Israel? The Lord anointed you king over Israel, and he sent you on a mission saying, Go and completely destroy those wicked people, the Amalekites. Wage war against them until you have wiped them out. Why did you not obey the Lord? Why did you pounce on the plunder and do evil in the eyes of the Lord? But I did obey the Lord, Saul said. I went on the mission the Lord assigned me. I completely destroyed the Amalekites and brought back Agag their king. The soldiers took sheep and cattle from the plunder, the best of what was devoted to God, in order to sacrifice them to the Lord your God at Gilgal. But Samuel replied, Does the Lord delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices as much as in obeying the Lord? To obey is better than sacrifice, and to heed is better than the fat of rams. For rebellion is like the sin of divination, and arrogance like the evil of idolatry. Because you have rejected the word of the Lord, he has rejected you as king. Then Saul said to Samuel, I have sinned. I violated the Lord's command and your instructions. I was afraid of the men, and so I gave in to them. Now I beg you, forgive my sin and come back with me so that I may worship the Lord. But Samuel said to him, I will not go back with you. You have rejected the word of the Lord, and the Lord has rejected you as king over Israel. As Samuel turned to leave, Saul caught hold of the hem of his robe, and it tore. Samuel said to him, The Lord has torn the kingdom of Israel from you today, and has given it to one of your neighbors, to one better than you. He who is the glory of Israel does not lie or change his mind, for he is not a human being that he should change his mind. Saul replied, I have sinned. But please honor me before the elders of my people and before Israel. Come back with me, so that I may worship the Lord your God. So Samuel went back with Saul, And Saul worshipped the Lord. Then Samuel said, Bring me Agag, king of the Amalekites. Agag came to him in chains, and he thought, Surely the bitterness of death is past. But Samuel said, As your sword has made women childless, so will your mother be childless among women. And Samuel put Agag to death before the Lord at Gilgal. Then Samuel left for Ramah. But Saul went up to his home in Gibeah of Saul. Until the day Samuel died, he did not go to see Saul again, though Samuel mourned for him, and the Lord regretted that he had made Saul king over Israel. First,
But Samuel replied, Does the Lord delight in burning offerings and sacrifices as much as in obeying the Lord? To obey is better than the sacrifice, and to heed is better than the fat of the rams. Heed. And Saul said to Samuel, I have sinned, I violated the Lord's command, and will injustice. I was afraid of the men, and so I gave it to them. special. 역시. special. 이렇게 많아. 너무 많으시잖아. lot to do. We got to think about the flowers, the caterers, the music.
Oh, I got some thoughts.
Oh, Chandler, too many cups. Yeah, we got a lot to do. We got to think about the flowers, the caterers, music.
Oh, I got some thoughts.
Oh, Chandler, too many cups. Yeah, we got a lot to do. We got to think about the flowers, caterers, the music.
Oh, I got some thoughts.
Oh, Chandler, too many cups. Yeah, we got a lot to do. We got to think about the flowers, caterers, music.
Oh, I got some thoughts.
Oh, Chandler, too many cups. Yeah, we got a lot to do. We got to think about the flowers, caterers, and music.
Oh, I got some thoughts.
Oh, Chandler, flowers, caterers, the music.
Oh, I got some thoughts.
Oh, Chandler, too many cups.
We gotta. Why?
Yeah, we got a lot to do. We got to think about the flowers, caterers, music.
Oh, I got some thoughts.
Oh, Chandler, too many cups. Yeah, we got a lot to do. We got to think about the flowers, caterers, music.
Oh, I got some thoughts.
Oh, Chandler, too many cups.
Yeah, we got a lot to do. We gotta think about the flowers, the music, culture, the music. Oh, I got some thought on that. The children, right? So many cooks.
Yeah, we got a lot to do. We got to think about the flowers, caterers, the music.
Oh, I got some thoughts.
Oh, Chandler, too many cups. Yeah, we got a lot to do. We got to think about the flowers, caterers, the music.
When it comes to countries with a great work-life balance, South Korea isn't high on the list. This country is notorious for its workaholic culture, with intense schooling and long hours fueling huge economic growth since the Korean War. But for 22-year-old Hwang, President Yoon's government claimed it would actually give workers more. When it comes to countries with a great work-life balance, South Korea isn't high on the list. This country is notorious for its workaholic culture, with intense schooling and long hours fueling huge economic growth since the Korean War. But for 22-year-old Hwang, when it comes to countries with a great work-life balance, South Korea isn't high on the list. This country is notorious for its workaholic culture, with intense schooling and long hours fueling huge economic growth since the Korean War. But for 22-year-old Hwang, when it comes to countries with a great work-life balance, South Korea isn't high on the list. This country is notorious for its workaholic culture, with intense schooling and long hours fueling huge economic growth since the Korean War. But for 22-year-old Hwang, when it comes to countries with a great work-life balance, South Korea isn't high on the list. This country is notorious for its workaholic culture, with intense schooling and long hours fueling huge economic growth since the Korean War. But for 22-year-old Hwang, when it comes to countries with a great work-life balance, South Korea isn't high on the list. This country is notorious for its workaholic culture, with intense schooling and long hours fueling huge economic growth since the Korean War. But for 22-year-old Hwang, when it comes to countries with a great work-life balance, South Korea isn't high on the list. This country is notorious for its workaholic culture, with intense schooling and long hours fueling huge economic growth since the Korean War. But for 22-year-old Hwang, when it comes to countries with a great work-life balance, South Korea isn't high on the list. This country is notorious for its workaholic culture, with intense schooling and long hours fueling huge economic growth since the Korean War. But for 22-year-old Hwang, when it comes to countries with a great work-life balance, South Korea isn't high on the list. This country is notorious for its workaholic culture, with intense schooling and long hours fueling huge economic growth since the Korean War. But for 22-year-old Hwang, when it comes to countries with a great
work-life balance, South Korea isn't high on the list. The country is notorious for workaholic culture with the intense schooling and long hours fueling huge economic growth since the Korean War.
work-life balance. South Korea isn't high on the list. This country is notorious for its workaholic culture, with intense schooling and long hours fueling huge economic growth since the Korean War. But for 22-year-old Hwang, when it comes to countries with a great work-life balance, South Korea isn't high on the list. This country is notorious for workaholic culture, with intense schooling and long hours fueling huge economic growth since the Korean War. But for 22-year-old Hwang,
since Korean War. When it comes to countries with great work-life balance, South Korea isn't high on the list. This country is notorious for its workaholic culture with intense schooling and long hours during whose economic growth since the Korean War.
Yeah, we got a lot to do. We got to think about the flower.
President Yoon's government claimed it would actually give workers more flexibility by letting them bank overtime to use at other times for longer vacations or parental leave. But unions, and especially millennials and Gen Z, are outraged. And now South Korea's government is scrambling to walk it back. On average, South Koreans President Yoon's government claimed it would actually give workers more flexibility by letting them bank overtime to use at other times for longer vacations or parental leave. But unions, and especially millennials and Gen Z, are outraged. And now South Korea's government is scrambling to walk it back. On average, South Koreans President Yoon's government claimed it would actually give workers more flexibility by letting them bank overtime to use at other times for longer vacations or parental leave. But unions, and especially millennials and Gen Z, are outraged. And now South Korea's government is scrambling to walk it back. On average, South Koreans President Yoon's government claimed it would actually give workers more flexibility by letting them bank overtime to use at other times for longer vacations or parental leave. But unions, and especially millennials and Gen Z, are outraged. And now South Korea's government is scrambling to walk it back. On average, South Koreans President Yoon's government claimed it would actually give workers more flexibility by letting them bank overtime to use at other times for longer vacations or parental leave. But unions, and especially millennials and Gen Z, are outraged. And now South Korea's government is scrambling to walk it back. On average, South Koreans President Yoon's government claimed it would actually give workers
President Yoon's government claimed that it would actually give the worker more flexibility by letting them bank over to use at other times for longer vacation or parental leave. President Yoon's government claimed that it would actually give workers more flexibilities by letting them bank over time to use at other times for longer vacation and or parental leave. But unions and especially millionaires and Gen Z are outraged. Now South Korea's government is scrambled to work it back.
President Yoon's government claimed it would actually give workers more flexibility by letting them bank overtime to use at other times for longer vacations or parental leave. But unions, and especially millennials and Gen Z, are outraged. And now South Korea's government is scrambling to walk it back. On average, South Korea's President Yoon
President Yoon's government claimed that it would actually give workers more flexibilities by letting them bank overtime to use at other times for longer vacation or parental leave. For unions and especially millionaires and Gen Z, millionaires and Gen Z, millionaires and Gen Zs are always, and now South Korea's government is scrambling to work it back. When it comes to countries with a great work balance, South Korea isn't high on the list. This country is notorious for its workaholic culture with intense schooling and long-hour periods, huge economic growth since the Korean War. And yeah, we got a lot. We got a lot to do. We gotta think about the flowers, the caterers, the music. Oh, I got some thought of that. I got some thought on that. Wait, Chandler, too many cooks. Yeah, we got a lot to do. We gotta think about the flowers, the caterers, the music. Oh, I got some thought on that. Oh wait, Chandler, too many cooks. When it comes to countries with a great work-life balance, South Korea isn't high on the list. This country is notorious for its workaholic culture, with intense schooling and the long hour fueling huge economic growth before since the Korean War. President Yoon's government claimed that it would actually give workers more flexibility by letting them bank over time to use at other times for longer vacation or parental leave. Well, union and especially millennials and Gen Z are outdated, and now South Korea's government is scrambling to walk it back.
오후 12시 30분입니다.
안녕.